Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Pro Cycling Manager 2021. We're on Stage Racer. It's episode number 3 of our series. We're still in very early days, but we've made it through 2 levels in those first couple of episodes. So now entering level 3, we're going to see some progress. You can already see just how much better we are, as we're 70.5 average where we were just a 67 when we started. So we've already picked up a few levels in terms of ability and just that couple level ups. You can see, especially as a puncher, we've seen a significant increase. And looking at the attributes and potential, you can see kind of where this rider is heading thus far. On the flat, we're not going to be great ever, but we definitely need to be better than a 61 to compete for GC in races later on, especially against World Tour riders. But 85 potential in the mountain still looks fantastic. We are going to focus a lot of these early levels on that, though one of the 2 so far has already gone elsewhere. Speaking of the elsewhere, we committed a level to hills, and you see how close we're already getting to that potential. I don't plan on committing more levels to hills. That's probably the one and only time we're going to end up doing that. Time trial and prologue both have plenty of room for growth. There might be one level along the way that we commit to that, but as a stage racer, doing that majority of the time and more potential going towards mountain, I think we'll focus a couple levels on climbing potentially, but most of the levels just on stage racer, which will naturally pull up the time trial and prologue along with it. Cobble, we're never going to be good. Sprint, we're never going to be good. Acceleration, we've already made a huge amount of that progress. So that level up towards punchiness, towards hills, has given us a lot of those acceleration points. So again, we're probably not going to refocus our attention that way later on. Downhill is something that's got plenty of room for growth. Stamina and resistance, of course, are going to be the big factors. We really, really need to get maximum points out of stamina and resistance because of the difficulty level that we're playing at. We're assuming that our opponents, those we go up against, those we're head-to-head against, are going to have an advantage there. We're always going to be playing catch-up in that department, having to be more conservative. We won't be able to attack as often. When you play on normal difficulty, it's super easy. You can have a resistance of 75 and absolutely blow away the field, even when you only have a mountain rating of maybe 80 and win by numerous minutes. On this difficulty level, they have the advantage. You're always going to be having to play things almost perfectly. You can't be as aggressive. Recovery wise, that'll be easy, but the recovery this year does make a bigger difference than it has in years past. We'll see how that plays out as we develop over our career. I'm not sure if we'll be able to get through another whole level in this episode, but we'll see if we can. We've got 120 points to go. It's early March, so we've got a ways to go yet. I would think maybe by May, between those 2 level ups, that we'll be able to hit the next level, because they don't have me working as the domestique very often. Domestique is a very quick, easy way to pick up 10 XP a day. But when they want me in the breakaway, and we are so weak in the stamina resistance department, it's hard to get there and stay there and get the points. And then even when you do, you're picking up like 2 points, 3 points a stage instead of 10. So by nature of kind of where we're at within the team, it's hard to get those easy XP. And we're going to have to rely a lot on month by month XP until we get competitive. But hitting low 70s is going to help us get there. But with the low stamina resistance, it's still going to be difficult to do much with at the moment. I don't see us competing for top 10s until both of these hit at least low mid 60s. So maybe a couple more levels. So we're at the Dorpen Omloop Rukfen. It's just a 1-stage race, but the circuit that we're on is a little punchy, and it's going to do damage. It's going to take its toll. My objective was to get in the breakaway. 4 of us got off the front very quick, very early on, but the pace has been hot in the peloton throughout. But luckily, it's not a major race, It's not a huge peloton, and so as much as they were putting pressure on us as other riders were trying to get off the front, it ultimately wasn't that bad. And finally, after a lot of kilometers, I mean, a good 30K, you can see we're at 35 now off the front, a good 30K later, they finally settled on 4 more guys getting off the front who have just made contact with us. We have a group of 8. You can see the riders that we have here. There's no big names. This is very much a small group. We're going to have to pick the pace up slightly as a group on the whole, but at 5.5 minutes, it's a pretty sizable gap. And with 8 riders, we have plenty of firepower to cruise along the way, but it looks like we don't want to push too hard. So we're going to take it easy. Meanwhile, the field has let this go pretty far. There's a tiny chance that with this number of riders and that type of gap that maybe, just maybe, we can hang on. But there's really not much firepower in this group, and myself included. -2 race day condition. I have a 55 resistance today, a 51 stamina. When the pace picks up, I'm going to struggle fast. I will probably get dropped from this group just based on those attributes, based on the ratings. So let's hope that the gap holds. Let's hope that there's that small inkling of a chance of a breakaway victory today. I doubt it. I highly doubt it. There's no big names here, so we don't stand to remain out front terribly long. And apparently the peloton's already picked up the pace. So if that's the case, good luck to us. But the main point is it's my objective, and we're meeting that objective, and we've already done 55K. 140, though, is a lot. It's going to be a while that we're going to have to remain out front, in which case you don't need to sit through 100K of us just sitting here in a small group. At some point, I presume I'll get dropped. At some point, I definitely presume that the group will be caught. You can see we're already down under 5 minutes. So they've already pulled back 30 seconds on us with 137K to go. And again, no names here. We're going to struggle to stay out front even with 8 of us. So I won't have much energy to compete in the sprint, but if I can, I will. If I'm still there in the final couple kilometers, I'll see you then. If not, I'll see you in our next race. All right, so I am back, and we still have a chance. Our 8-rider breakaway is down to 3 guys that split off when the gap got close. They are just 30 seconds ahead. They're right there. I did not follow those attacks. Remember, -2, 55. No stamina, no sprint. But yet, with just 29 riders left in the peloton, a few of those being from the break, the others have gone out the back of it. But I've made it, and you can see my teammates. They're done. The whole team is done. So the chase was so hard because of the size of our group and this constant undulation. So with 6 kilometers to go, I have a chance at a top 10 for the first time. We'll see if we can manage it because I have very little energy left. But with 27 chasing 2, and there's only 8 seconds of separation with 4K to go, I have that tiny chance of getting into the top 10. But with 4K to go, I have to start moving my way forward gently. The sprint itself, I don't have enough to compete. I have that little bit of acceleration, 3K to go now. And as we go forward over the top, I'm in the prime position with 2.5K to go and just need to, gotta save a little bit here, 2K to go, downhill, 1.5K to go. I'm starting my sprint. 1 kilometer to go. I'm running out of energy early, but let's get to the inside here. I'm going to get caught. I'm not going to win. That was never the thought. I'm just trying to get a top 10. Just trying to squeeze my way into the top 10. And this little uphill swing at the end. Didn't see it on the profile, but it made sense because of the circuit. I didn't think about that. Could have saved that for a little bit later. Not gone with the sprint. But this last 50 meters, 100 meters... to the finish, I'm going backwards very, very fast without that stamina resistance. Again, it just faded very, very quick. But top 20? 18th. So there you go. First ever top 20. Not a top 10 yet. Still a good result considering we were in the break the whole day and we had nothing left there at the end. My highest teammate finish was 15th with Quinn. He's a pretty decent rider. It does end up being a nice day, though. I get my first lengthy survival and a breakaway, which adds 45 points plus my evaluation for the day itself as excellent. We get plus 5 points today, so 50 points on the day. That makes a huge dent in getting to the next level. We're looking at another day in the breakaway and another -2 race day condition. I'm in between fitness peaks right now, and the new fitness system, I didn't even discover it in January. It was February before I even knew that there was a new training system available. There's that new attack button. Really helps. I've got a teammate, Laverick, also getting into the break today, and there's quite a few of us out here, so... No. Yikes. That changes quick, and then it changes not just your attack. Well, anyway, we've got 2 up front at the moment. There's 4 of us in chase, and then we've got another 7 plus an 8th even further behind. So that's a little rough. That's a little bit too many, and I'm not sure the peloton's going to be happy with that, but we'll see if we can hang on. I actually ended up leaving Laverick behind. He's in the next group down the road. But once we establish the breakaway, once we're sure that we're here, see these guys are trying to attack Hertz and Brown, knowing that the other group is a little too big. There's, what, 13 in all? There we go. Oh, now it's back together. They didn't like the size of the group. Now we've got to let that go for a second because I need to wait for our next chance. Got a few guys going. Now's a good time. Push hard enough to get off the front. We've escaped. Now we can back off a little bit and just try to make up some ground. There you go. All right, 3 plus 6. 9 is okay. I think they could allow 9 to go, but the 2 more have attacked. That might be a little too much. We'll see if I can make my way up to this front group. 9 might not be too bad. They still might chase down those behind us, though. Definitely see that we are going to make contact. Now it's 11. 11 might be too much. I don't see much cooperation in the group at the moment. If they catch that one more rider, though, they might allow us to go at 11. Maybe. Small chance. Yes, we're pulling it out. Over 2 minutes now. I think they're going to let us go. Yep, we're starting to back off. Pace is lifting. That 12th will join us, and there you go. Group of 12, 324 off the front. Let's see if there's... LaRue is here. But it's still a bunch of no-names. I mean, there's... That's good. That's good. We have very little chance of surviving. But I have a very good chance of completing our objective for the day. 110K. There's only 123 to go. We've got 90 left to complete, though. So 30K to the end. I think we can probably hang on that long. Same thing as last time, though. I will push on to those final kilometers. And if we are there... or thereabouts near the front where we can actually compete for some sort of finish. I mean, at the moment, I'm very much struggling, and the pace is not lifted much. So I might not be there at the end this time. But if I'm there, I'll see you for the final kilometers. We just went under the 10K banner, and we're still in it. One rider off the front is a recent attack on that last little punchy part. And then it does appear that we have a slightly uphill finish. Slightly. Not too steep, but yes, we do have a slightly uphill finish, so we don't want to go too early. But I do have the same problem we had last time. Very low energy, low resistance. I got -5s on the stamina resistance again today. So with 4K to go, I need to scoot forward, but I definitely have to save my push maybe a little late. Not as steep as that last finish, 2K. We're seeing the sprinters really take off. I'm just trying to see if we can maybe squeeze a top 10. 9 riders just went clear. That's not good. 1.3K to go. 1K to go. Let's do our sprint. I'm not going to catch those guys, and I'm definitely not going to beat everybody around me. So it's not going to be a top 10, but I think we'll get top 15 today. Bonifacio ahead of Buani. Barbier, it's sprinters at the front. Bosenhagen, McClay, that's all sprinters. They got their lead outs, and the lead out gave some distance. Cuckard, pretty much the entire top 10. But we do get 16th. 2 spots better than last time. 16th today, highest finish on the team. Roughly kind of the same order we had last time, just about anyway. I was 18th last time with a teammate in 15th. This time I was 16th with a teammate at 18th. We don't have any proper sprinters. We have a pretty weak team. And for me especially, -2 race day condition is going to be impossible to get much of a finish with a sprint finish and sprinters at the top. But with my acceleration, I mean, we can position ourselves, and we'll see some top 10s at some point, but I'm not sure how or when just yet, or maybe not level 3 just yet, but we'll get there. Stage 1 Tour de Normandy. It's just a 5 kilometer, not quite 5 kilometer prologue. From my understanding of this new system when it comes to time trialing, I have not had much practice with it just yet. It does look like you really need to just kind of give max effort. Last time I tried to go focus on the red bar and had a terrible time. Now you can see we're going flat out 99 all the way. Yellow bar has no problem. The red bar was used up quick, but my heart rate has stayed high. It was almost the best time on the team, just about within a few seconds. So that does seem to be the way to go. We'll see. I'm going to have to test things out a bit more with that one to see how that new system operates. I think red bar is your ability to attack. It's your ability to accelerate, where the yellow bar is just that overall stamina. Heart rate stayed high, so we continued to pedal hard. So that's a good sign. But at this point, a 67 prologue today with the poor race day condition and stamina resistance being so low. That's inevitable. It was not going to be a good time. But 23 seconds down could have been a lot worse. And I think if we were trying to manage the red bar, it would have been a lot worse. So we didn't see a big drop in heart rate by having the red bar run out. So that was key. With yellow, you would always see that. You would see the heart rate quickly drop by 20 and the pedaling speed drop significantly. So, yep, that's one test. Let's move on to the next stage. Stage 2 sees the teammate roll. So we're going to go take care of our kilometers as quickly as possible, get that out of the way, and then we'll move on and see if we're still around for the end of the stage. The extra effort always makes it a bit more difficult, but being in the peloton instead of in the breakaway, it's a lot easier to later recover if you can knock those kilometers out quite quickly. So we'll give it a shot. So far, so good. The other riders are allowing me to go. We've got 3 riders off the front who have opened up a 2-minute gap. We've already completed 8 of 30K, which means you need an extra 7.5, an extra 8 kilometers to make that work. And to get the exceptional, not just the completed objective, you always want to go to 125, not to 100%. And yeah, that breakaway, they're in good shape. Peloton's in good shape, and everybody's actually allowing me to do the work, so that's good. We're knocking these kilometers out very, very quickly, and then we'll be able to just sit on and ride for ourselves at the end of the stage for a change. And also, race day condition 0 for the first time in a while, so we'll take that and run with it. Being out of objective period, it's very different to last year's game. You can't always ride high. You can't always get that fitness peak. You now have to manage the fitness. You now have to manage those peaks and valleys, and I'm quickly picking up how to do that. We'll have a tutorial out soon regarding how to manage your fitness in Pro Cyclist mode. And we have hit our milestone, 125%. You don't get the extra pop-up for that, but it's there secretly in the coding behind the system. All right, let's sit on. We are in recovery mode. We'll get that energy back, and we've got 138K to go. If I'm still in the peloton, I'll see you in the final kilometers. All right, final 7 kilometers. We're going to use our gel. We're in a good position. I have no teammates at my disposal, so I can't get a lead out. So with 5K to go, I have to just start inching my way forward, try to be near the front, use our acceleration to at least maybe squeeze our way into a top 10. but I'm fresh. That's a first. So our chances of doing so are a little bit better today. We've got 2.5K to go. I'm right out front. I still have full red bar, 2K to go. So leading myself out, getting into that prime position. Now 99, now 1.3, downhill finish. We sprint for the line, and I might just hang on to that top 10, but you can see now the acceleration part got me in a good position near the front, but the lack of an actual sprint, you're seeing everybody overtake me. So close to that top 10. We got 11th today. The sprinters, they've got 10, 15, 20 points on me in the sprint. So we're nowhere near actually competing properly until that sprint gets into the mid-60s at least. Getting a top 10 for now is going to be really difficult. Lead out from a teammate, if I can get into that front position, then my chances of hanging on to a top 10 get a little bit better, because at least they all have to overtake you along the way. Now with the acceleration, I can nearly stay at the front, but you can see I was still already only maybe fifth wheel. And then as you get out of acceleration zone and into sprint speed, then my lack of pace there. I mean, I'm 13 points lower in sprint than I am in acceleration. You can then see how everybody then just shifts beyond me. So it's hard to remain in a high position with just lack of attribute points. So don't expect much from a sprint, but I know right circumstances we can squeeze out a top 10. I mean, we almost did it there. We got 11th. But we are significantly lower than everybody else in the sprint. We're not going to win that. But with teammate support, proper lead out, a little bit more, we can definitely get some top 10s. Still a good enough day to get exceptional status, which gave us plus 10 points. We're now 55 away. We're also nearing the turn of the month. So between this Normandy race and the turn of the month, we might just about get our next level before the end of the race. However, we've got a handful of stages to go, and I'm also out of time for today. So that's going to do it for this one. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button. I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.